It's nearly Christmas, and what a year it's been for everyone. And yes, there's uncertainty out there. Plans seem to be changing day by day, but I want to help you in the only way I know how, and that's through food. I've got some incredible recipes that are bespoke for this Christmas to make it the very best it can be. And whether you're cooking for a small group or outside with family and friends, we can do this, guys. We're in it together. Come on, roll up your sleeves, let's get cooking, and let's get festive. I want to take you by the hand to cook recipes that are specifically tailor-made to help you celebrate this year.
Everything here tastes unique and very, very delicious.
So whether you're cooking a Christmas feast for many or a few,
You could just do this, or just do that, or both.
you've got people popping round to celebrate inside or out,
I absolutely love it.
It's really nice.
or you're looking for ways to keep the excitement going after the big day.
I'm trying to help the nation cook leftovers.
Whatever your situation, I've got loads of amazing ideas for this Christmas. So let's get cracking with gorgeous ways to use up those leftovers.
One of my most favourite parts of Christmas is the leftovers. The leftover food is where the flavour is at. Whatever you've got at home, have a look at this, because I think you could make one of the best pies you've ever had.
And this one is the perfect way to use up all those cooked and uncooked ingredients left over from Christmas Day.
I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing leftovers pie. I call it a hodgepodge pie. And basically, it's a principle where you can embrace all of that lovely leftover Christmas dinner, whether it's the white turkey meat, brown turkey meat, stuffing, we got cranberry sauce, gravy. We're going to get all festive. First, we're going to start with pastry. I've got 500 grams of flour. Get your flour in there, and we'll take our salt to season it, and then the butter goes in. Just scrunch it in your hands. That's a pack of butter. Rub with your forefinger and thumb the flour and the butter together. It's so quick, it's so easy, and flaky, short crust, savoury pastry is a thing of joy. So we're going to go in with one lovely free-range egg right in there. You can put a little bit of water in there as well, just to convince this dough to come together. Now I can use my hands again. Add a little bit more water. And that little extra splash just gets this to come together as a dough. Can you see how it's just starting to clump now? And I'm starting to push. Now, I want this pastry to be short and crumbly. If I sit there kneading it, it'll go tight and hard. Now we're seeing the signs of it coming together. That will make fantastic pastry. I've got it into 2 balls, roughly even. So just pat these out. One's for the base and one's for the topping. So just wrap that up and that's it. Easy, super easy. In the fridge for about half an hour just to relax a little bit. And that allows me enough time to get on and start this filling. So we need 2 teaspoons or 2 knobs of butter, or if you remember the other day, remember the turkey fat, right? And that's got all the flavour of the roast dinner. So 2 of these go in the pan, and let's begin this story. This is smoked bacon. 2 rashers is literally all you need. Just roughly slice it up. I'm going to go in with that bacon, get it going, and when it's lightly golden, then we can start adding the other ingredients. I want 2 sprigs of rosemary. I want 2 leeks and 2 mushrooms, okay? So we'll go in with the rosemary first. Just get the rosemary by the stalk here like that. Grab it at the top, pull your hands down like that. We'll lose this little twig, and then we can roughly chop the rosemary. And in it goes to our bacon. Oh, smells amazing already. Roughly chop your 2 nice field mushrooms. They go in as well now. Mushrooms are there to give you that lovely kind of depth of flavour, but also that white flesh here is creamy and silky and delicious. So that goes in. And then leeks. All I'll do is just trim the edge off, and then I'll go to this edge. This green part here, I can use this for soups and stews and nice things like that. Let's give it a quick little wash. Right, just roughly chop these up into clanks. Any old how, because we're going to liquidize these anyway. I will give it a kiss of salt and pepper to get seasoning going. But all I'm going to do now is just give that a stir every now and again and cook it for 10 minutes until it's sweet, soft, and really, really tasty. Have a look at this. This is the power of time. Completely changed. Sweet, deep in flavour, little kind of light caramel notes in there, and we can add to those layers of flavour in a really nice way. First one, in the theme of twos, 2 teaspoons of beautiful whole grain mustard. That goes in. Then we need a thickening agent. We're going to use flour, 2 dessert spoons. And then I need 2 pints of stock. So in we go. We'll bring that to the boil. And then the last ingredient to finish this beautiful sauce off is creme fraiche. It's beautiful because it's slightly sour, it's rich, it's really, really nice in this sauce. And guess how much? 2 tablespoons. And it's so good. So 1 big one and another big one. So you can see that creme fraiche marbling in to this sauce. Bring it to the boil. Let it simmer for a little bit. And you've got a choice now. You can leave it really rough and rustic, and that's even easier. Or if you want to make it really elegant and silky smooth, which I do today, then I'm going to use a liquidizer. So I'm just going to take one of these, little ladle, and put this lovely stuff in here. Look at that. Okay, so the sauce is in there. Lid goes on top. Always put your tea towel over the top when you're doing this, because I've had a few mistakes over the years. And we're just going to wazz it up. Look at that. So in no time at all, that's gone from chunky to silky smooth. Look at that. So the only thing to do now is have a little try. Whoa! The smoky bacon, the rosemary. Oh, it's so good. So what I want to do now is put that somewhere cold, let it cool down, and I'm going to show you how to do the pastry. I've got 2 helpers to help me bring this pie together. I'm going to do the base, and then we're going to do the filling, and then the topping. So just roll this out with a little bit of flour. When I put the flour in, I just do that nice and evenly. This pie is called a hodgepodge pie. Can you say that?
No, hodgepodge pie.
No.
Hodgepodge pie. Hodgepodge pie.
Roll it out as thin as a pound coin. And just turn it every now and again, and you can take your time. Go on, you have a little go at that, darling.
Dad.
With our little mould here, this is kind of like a 12-inch pastry pie mould, standard. You could use anything, give or take that size. We're going to roll this over the rolling pin like this. This allows you to then pick it up and be a little bit kind of more mobile about it. I quite like to take some of that turkey fat here, so we can rub that in. That just gives you the most incredible kind of outer crust. Then, once you've got this little pastry, you can unwind it over the top. So what we want to do is just use the round part of our hand just to ease this pastry in, right, and get it up around the sides like this. Now look, let's say, for instance, you had a little tear. Oh no, oh, we've torn it. Oops, right? Please don't worry, like, we can patch it up, right? So, well, I'm just showing people that don't be scared about the pastry, because we can basically make it all good. Make that little cut, that little tear, go back. We're going to put it over the edges.
Dad.
Yes.
Can I do my decoration?
Yes, we're going to do decorations very soon. So that goes over here. Then we need to flavour this into the most amazing filling. And we've got the white breast meat here. We've got some stuffing. We've got some brown meat. I've actually got some uncooked Brussels left over, and I'm just going to use a little knife to slice this up. So in the theme of twos, 200 grams of Brussels sprouts, or 2 big handfuls, nice and fine. We want these Brussels to cook in the same time the pie is going to cook. We have our cooled down, lovely sauce. This is kind of what's going to bind all of this into something that's truly gorgeous. So I'm going to start with 3 ladles of the sauce. Just mix it up, and you want it to be that nice balance of kind of like bound together like that, but also nice and moist, okay? So I'm going to take a big handful. We're going to go over and we'll pack that in. All of that sauce goes in. River, will you just put a little bit more sauce? That's it. Half a ladle, that's all you need. And then we can just push it around like that. Of course, one of the key flavours of Christmas lunch is cranberries. Literally all I do is get some of this cranberry sauce and pop this on the top. So 2 tablespoons, funny enough, of your cranberries go in there like that. And now we can do the bit that River wants to do. What bit are we going to do, River?
Decorating.
Yay, we're going to do decorating. We have the second part of our pastry. So I'm going to roll this out again. What I want you to do, Kiddlywinks, is you can pick 2 cutters. Which ones do you want first?
Heart.
A heart. I'm going to do my one first, which is 5 big Christmas trees. And then, Buddy, I want you to do 5 medium-sized Christmas trees. So as you can see, my lovely helpers have done a good job of creating a random mixture of large, medium, and small little cutouts. It doesn't matter what shape, you can make them up. So what I want to do is lay this over the pie. So it's kind of a bit mad. And then we can tear this off. We don't want to waste anything. By having the pastry not quite perfect and having little holes, it's going to breathe. The filling's going to breathe and blip, 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 and little bits of gravy come through. It's going to be amazing. So, Buds, have a little bit of an egg wash there. We go around the edges like that, all the way around. Obviously, the egg wash makes it go golden and gorgeous, but it also acts like glue. So once they've done that, then what we can do is start getting our bigger little characters here. There's our Christmas trees around the outside. Then put these little smaller Christmas trees in.
In the middle.
Here, then, everywhere. And now just fill and plug the gaps. Like there's a bit of a gap there, so we'll put that in there. So at this stage, pick it up, get a butter knife, and put it against the rim of that and just cut with like nice, clean little cuts. And then all these bits that are falling off, we can re-roll out and fill and plug any gaps. We can now just make some more of those final shapes. So I'll do a few more Christmas trees just to fill those gaps. What on earth is going on? How? Look, wait, I'm trying to help the nation cook leftovers. You can see it's chaos, but it's kind of beautiful, organised chaos. So the only thing I like to do now, just to kind of seal the whole thing, is get a fork and just go to the edge and push the pastry into the pie dish. It just kind of makes it really kind of stick nicely. What I like about this pie is, as bonkers and eccentric and as beautiful as it kind of is, it can actually take quite a battering. You can get bits wrong, you can tear it, you can fill the gaps, you can have fun with kids. I'm gonna whack that in the oven now for about 45 to 50 minutes at 170 degrees Celsius, and very importantly, put it at the bottom of the oven. And that way, that heat will get to the bottom of the pastry, and when it's golden crisp and blipping with lovely juices, that is gonna be one of the most incredible, incredible pies. Kids, did you like that?
Yes!
Are you happy?
Yes! It's going to be lovely.
So you know what? It could have gone properly pear-shaped, but this pie can handle reprobates and misbehaviour. Leave me to the washing up, as usual. Love you! So the pie has had 45, 50 minutes. It smells amazing, and look at that. Absolutely. Beautiful. That, my friends, is the hodgepodge pie. Absolutely gorgeous. So you can see how the juices are blipping out. And that's exactly what I wanted. So the question is how do we get in there? The first portion is always the hardest. I'm gonna go for a spoon. There she is. Hot and steamy. We'll have a little bit of sauce Oh, some lovely greens right there. Little peas everywhere. I'm gonna have a little cheeky try. I love it. Turkey, stuffing in there. Sort of tastes like Christmas dinner. And the pastry is so gorgeous. Hodgepodge pie. Lovely, homemade, full of love. And remember all of those leftovers brought together and celebrated. Who couldn't love a pie?
It's Christmas!
It's wobbling.
In our household, probably like yours, it's tradition to have mince pies, Christmas pudding, selections of different nuts, maybe slightly posher biscuits at Christmas, chocolate, maybe the coins, clementines, mandarins. But it's also tradition to have loads of these left over, and that's where things get exciting. I've got a gorgeous Christmassy dessert that wraps up all of those festive flavours in layers of beautiful, crisp, golden pastry. Delicious. I'm gonna make my anything goes Christmas strudel, and there's one ingredient that you need to be able to bring all of this together, and that is a humble pack of phyllo pastry. So look, there's a little thing that you have to do when you use phyllo pastry, and that's work fast, because this will dry up. So that's cool, we're gonna be fast. I'm gonna turn on the heat, and I'm gonna melt 100 grams of butter. In we go. And then as this butter melts, what we can do is infuse it with beautiful Christmassy flavours. So to do that, I'm gonna grab myself 2 of these lovely little clementines. I'm gonna get myself a fine grater and just a few strokes of the clementine zest. And that little bit there makes all the difference. It's gonna be amazing. So look, zest of 2 goes in. I'm gonna take the juice of these 2 as well and just slice these up and squeeze them straight in. We can take other spices, like a tiny, tiny little bit of cinnamon. It could be like a little bit of rosemary, just tiny little accents of flavour. You can have fun with it. So let that come to a boil, and the butter and clementine juice will kind of form this lovely kind of cream. I'll turn that heat off now, because it's done its job. Get yourself a clean tea towel and lay it out like that. And then, generally speaking, in one of these boxes of phyllo pastry, you'll get about 7 or 8 sheets. So we'll lay one out here like that, and we'll just create like a phyllo pastry layer, just like the tea towel. So 4 on the bottom, slightly overlapping, and then we'll take some of that lovely butter, right, and just drizzle it, half of it, over there like that. And we're gonna brush that in and around. And where it's joined up, you can kind of stick it together beautifully. This will help protect the pastry and flavour it. So far, very, very simple. Then I do one thing now for texture, and that's add some brown sugar. I want to use it to get that crunch. So just like a heaped teaspoon. And then we're gonna go on with the next layer. So at this stage, I'll put half of the leftover butter on here like that, and I'm gonna rub it all over. Look at this. This is when things get really, really fun. So first thing, what we're gonna do, let's go mince pies. Take 2, maybe 3 mince pies and just crush them up in your hand and then just crumble it from a height. This will give you the taste of Christmas, of course. Then we can take a little bit of our leftover Christmas pudding. So just break it up in your hand and evenly distribute it. Then I'm thinking nuts. Just get a pestle and mortar, just bash it up. In there, some walnuts, hazelnuts, pistachios, and just sprinkle those across. And then we're talking chocolate. Now, you can put any chocolate you like. You can take your posh chocolate and just break it up into little bits, or even these chocolate coins I absolutely love. Get your bombs of chocolate in there. Then we're thinking, what next? Fruit. Classic apple and pears, right? Get yourself a box grater. On the coarse side, get a nice apple, washed of course, and we're gonna grate it. And actually, a traditional strudel would have apples in it, but this is far from traditional. Pear, another great fruit, grated over the top. Sometimes at this time of year, you have quinces as well. You could even put a little carrot in there. Very tasty. And then last but not least, as I look around my leftover world, okay, biscuit, crunchy, ginger flavours, that can go in too. 1, 2, 3, it's all good. And then 2 or 3 lovely teaspoons of honey. And that's just to balance the sourness of the apple. So now we're just going to take in the sides about 4 inches, like that. And then this side, 4 inches, like that. And then we'll just start to roll it up, like this. And then use the tea towel, which is your best friend, to fold it up, roll it, fold it, roll it, fold it, roll it, and there you go. It is a thing of beauty. So what I do now is get yourself a nice baking tray, steel, tiny bit of butter there, and then with confidence, pick up that lovely strudel. The last bit of butter goes on the top like this, and we rub that in and around the whole thing. It's going to be so, so good. Just take a little bit of extra brown sugar just to give that nice little crunch on the topping. That's how anything goes. Christmas strudel. Beautiful. That will go in the oven for about 35 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. I like to put it on the bottom of the oven until it's golden and gorgeous looking. It smells so good, so good. And here it is. It's amazing. Take some icing sugar, give it a little bit of a tap, bit of snow for Christmas. Oh, the crunch. The shards of crispy, crispy filet. That is very nice. So then, come on, let's have a little bit of custard. This poured onto a plate with a little bit of cold vanilla ice cream is a thing of joy. Let's get in there. All those lovely leftovers that might be disregarded, think again. Oh, look at the bottom, look at the bum, where it got crunchy and caramelised. Yes! Oh. Whoa, it is so good. It's completely indulgence personified. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Please say cut, because I'm going to eat the whole lot. Coming up, I've got some gorgeous recipes to keep you warm, even if you take the celebrations outside. Mummy, do you like it?
This is so lovely and warming.
It's Christmas!
With friends and family popping around this time of year, it's important to have plenty of delicious festive food ready for hungry mouths. Over the Christmas period, it can get super busy, so we all need some delicious meals that are easy to put together and feed your friends or family. And if you want to get ahead, I've got a hearty chili that you can batch up in advance. The perfect winter warmer for this time of year. So I'm going to show you all the tricks and tips to getting maximum flavour out of that stuff and getting it in here. So first up, we've got peppers, we've got sweet potatoes, and just in a regular non-stick pan or even a gas hob, I want to show you how to kind of trick smokiness into that pan. You will love it. So this is on a high heat, this is on a medium heat, this is a casserole pan. So peppers, I'm going to put them directly onto the gas. Also, you could use a grill. Get them under the grill to get them blistering and popping and going black, literally. Then with the sweet potato, what I'm going to do is slice it into 1 centimetre slices. I'm going to leave the skin on. The skin has got some delicious flavour, so we want to celebrate that. And then I'm going to put it directly into a dry non-stick pan, and we can start toasting and charring this. I've got 2 onions here. I'm just going to half it and then quarter it into like centimetre chunks. And then this pan is getting nice and hot now. And again, we're going into a dry pan. Move these peppers around. It's perfectly safe. Basically what's happening is the skins are catching, they're charring. Really what we're trying to do is mimic the old-fashioned cooking that would happen in a big old cauldron over a log or charcoal fire. And that's where, of course, the mega flavour really is. Here in the pan, I'm dry frying, and you can see already there's caramelisation on the bottom of the pan. And then the sweet potato, look, toastiness. It's about adding extra layers of flavour. In this pan now with the onions, I'm going to push the onions to one side, and we're going to introduce our oil. In with a nice couple of lugs of olive oil. It will start to sizzle. I'm going to add spices now. So the first one is a nice heaped teaspoon of cumin. So when they start to just spit a little bit and toast, we'll bring the onions in. So we've got some smoked paprika. 2 teaspoons go in. That's going to give it amazing colour and a true smokiness. And then a little curveball ingredient. Cocoa powder. 2 teaspoons of cocoa in here. And no, before you say it, it's not going to taste like hot chocolate. It's got this most incredible savouriness to it, a roundness, which with the sweet onions and the spice is going to be amazing. OK, next, for a slightly more unusual ingredient, we're going to use peanut butter, unsweetened, and 1 nice big heaped tablespoon goes in. What I've witnessed in many countries is the use of smashed up nuts, and they really do add a depth of flavour to stews, curries and chilies. Really amazing. We'll stir that in. I just add a little swig of vinegar just to clean the bottom of that pan. Just a tablespoon. In with the sweet potato, so give it a good stir. So the peppers, in no time at all actually, have blistered up nicely. So I haven't overly coloured them, but this is enough to soften up the peppers, get that toasty flavour going. And also, exactly what we did with the peppers, we can do with the chilies. So a couple of chilies. The one thing I suggest you do is just prick it with a knife, because when these get hot, they have been known to explode. So back to these peppers. Just chunk that up into like 2-inch-ish pieces. Tap off the seeds. In with the green peppers, the yellow peppers, and the red. So nice colours now, look at that. Starting to look very joyful. I'm actually getting really excited. Taste buds are going already. Slice up the chilies. When I was a kid, my mum used to make chili con carne. It was very nice, but the thing I hated about it always was the kidney beans. It took me a long time to love kidney beans, and I'm still not completely convinced about them. Later on in life, I realised there was many other beans that were very nutritious, so I'll take some butter beans. In here, you can see there's like a little kind of stock. It's seasoned, we won't waste that. I normally put a second tin of butter beans in, but I'm mixing it up. This is chickpeas. So chickpeas and juice go in. Now, here's the interesting thing. Aggressive heat in here. So just put the butter beans in the pan, and you'll just find that it starts to scald the skin of the bean. The trick is to leave it. And then that aggressive heat just kind of gets the skin to crackle, and then it kind of bursts open and the fluffiness comes out. And that in a chilli, I just love. It kind of makes it dry and hot and ready to suck up the flavour from the chilli. I now want to add our friend, Mr. Tomato. So 3 tins, yes, 3 tins of tomatoes. So I like to put this into my hand, clean of course, and scrunch it. Connect with your cooking. Best gadget in the world. Fill up one of these with water, and then pour it into that one, and then pour it into that one, and get every last bit of lovely tomatoey goodness out. There's good things happening there. Give it a shake. Can you see? See how they've popped, shriveled and charred? And they're now going to go into our lovely chilli, and they'll sizzle away and absorb all of that flavour. So, last few things to kind of get your taste buds going. We're going to use coriander. Do not throw away the stalks. We'll keep the leaves for later, and we'll embrace these stalks. They're delicious. So just finely slice those. So in we go with the coriander stalks. Pinch of sea salt and pepper. Stir that through. And now I'm going to cook that for about 50 minutes to an hour, right, on a medium heat with a lid ajar, just so we retain some of that moisture. But in that time, all the flavours are going to exchange. It already smells amazing. Get your nice jacket potatoes, give them a wash, give them a prick, and then a little bit of salt. And then in the oven, 180 until cooked, basically about an hour. Happy days. So this has had about 50 minutes. And look at that. You can see that it's thickened up. It's robust. It looks really gorgeous. When it's off the heat, which it is now, a kiss of good oil will just give it a shine and a kind of grassiness. You know, we can chop some fresh herbs up. In this case, it's coriander. And that will give it kind of perfume. And as we're talking about really dynamic flavours, let's also talk about dynamic textures. A simple salad, right? Gem lettuce, romaine. This is crunch, soft crunch. And then there's another little trick. If you take standard jalapenos in vinegar, get them in a blender, and just with a little whiz, put everything in here. Take a herb, in this case mint and chilli, fantastic friends. In we go with the mint, just a few little sprigs, and wazz it up, and you're gonna make the easiest cheats salsa ever. So in no time at all, we've made a fluorescent green, amazing chili mint salsa. And then last but not least, there's another little salsa. First up, we'll take a little slice of apple. Half an apple and half an onion. So I'll slice this up, nice and fine. Now with the onion, I'm just gonna finely slice it and season it with salt. That will wring out the actual moisture in the onion. And then get a lime, give it a little roll to get the juices going. And we'll sprinkle the juice. Now the acid in this lime will act just like pickling liquor, right? Vinegar. So we just move that around like that, and immediately it'll start changing the onion. And that's it. Apple, crunchy, sweet, and the limey, sour, salty onions. Time for some jacket potatoes. And then some cheddar. Come on, enough chatting. Let's get that jacket potato with the cheese. Let's go deep into the cauldron and make sure we get a nice spoon of that amazing chili. Let's hit up a little bit of yogurt. That'll just kind of ripple through. We'll have a little bit of herbage happening. Get some green going. We can take our little cheats jalapeno straight on that yogurt. I'm gonna have my little cups of the lettuce here, because we can use this lettuce to mop up that chili. And then we've got our little quick salsa that we've made. Everything going on in one little winter warmer plate. Right, let's get in there. Let's get a bit of salsa on the bottom, bit of cheese sticking to it. Layer upon layer of simply delicious flavours. Those beautiful beans, the texture's absolutely lovely. The sweet potato. Honestly, you would never believe that veggies taste so bloomin' good. This is such a delicious meal. And you know what? Whoever you get to hang out with, friends, family, inside, outside, I think you can enjoy that. And I think you deserve to enjoy that right now.
It's Christmas!
This year, more than ever, we've got to be a little bit creative about who we're serving, what we're serving, where we're serving it, how many people can we serve it to. Either way, I'm going to make a couple of beautiful winter warmers that I know they're going to love. And there's no better way to keep cosy outside than with homemade sausage rolls. But I'm giving them a twist, literally, by making them into a super festive sausage roll wreath. So I'm doing one with beautiful sausage meat and another with gorgeous roasted squash. So I'll start with a squash. I'm just going to get myself a large knife, carefully, because it's round, put this down like this, tip goes in the middle, don't put too much weight down, right, because this can be a little bit tricky, and then go down. So split these into 8. And then I want to give you the seasonings that make this squash sublime. So here, we've got the basics, salt and pepper, but then we can bring the squash to life with a little bit, just a tiny bit of chili, some coriander seeds, and a little bit of cinnamon. Those 5 seasonings are going to really transform that squash. So get yourself a roasting tray. We'll go in with some olive oil, just a little bit, and then in a pestle and mortar, we'll add a teaspoon of the coriander seeds, a nice pinch of the salt and pepper, and a little pinch of the chili. I don't want it to be spicy, just a little bit of background hum. And then with the cinnamon, just a little bit. Get your squash, get a spoon, just remove those little seeds there. And then in with the amazing seasoning. Give it a nice little mix up. So that is going to be beautiful. I'll roast that for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, and that will go sweet, delicious, intense, and it will be a brilliant filling for my sausage roll. So use the fork to mash up all of that skin and flesh. Look at that. Then let's add some really nice complementary Christmassy flavours. So a little handful of vat-packed chestnuts. Just break them up in your hands. Maybe sort of like 10 or 12 of those. And then what else is Christmassy? Cranberries. Dried cranberries, they're sweet, they're sour. Then a little bit of cheese for seasoning and kind of holding it all together. So that goes in. Then we just mix it all up. Have a little taste. Salt, pepper, a little tweak if you want to. And look, if you're wondering what we would do with these, you will never, ever regret having leftover squash in the fridge. You can tear that into a pasta, risotto, noodle dish, a stew. That goes to one side. Now it gets really fun. So we are going to cheat. We're going to use pre-made puff pastry. All butter puff pastry. You don't want to be making this at home. You've got way more important things to do. I've got 2 packs here. Unwind it, and you're good to go. All I have to do now is cut each sheet into 2 lengthwise. So go right to the middle here and just cut through the pastry like so. We're going to do sausage first. A good Cumberland sausage, free-range pork. Just get a knife and run it down the sausage like that and do that to all 4. So just take the skin off and place that in the middle of your pastry. And look, exactly the perfect size. So then we've got our lovely filling here with our squash. So take that filling, make it even all the way along. So I've got 2 runs of sausage roll, 1 run of the lovely squash,
And then I'm going to do a little surprise with that one. So get an egg in a bowl, whisk it up. Egg wash is what we use to stick pastry together or give it a beautiful glossy finish on the outside. I want to get more flavour and colour onto it, so I'm going to use a little bit of English mustard. A heaped teaspoon goes in. We're just going to turn this over. So pull it up like that. Let the pastry stick to this side like that. Use your fingers just to press it together. We'll do exactly the same on our amazing sausages here. Push your finger down like that, and then get yourself a fork and just use that to kind of crimp that lovely edge. This would be amazing. You can cook them whole like that, put them on a big table, a big board. It looks really, really cool. But I want to go to the next level. It's Christmas, guys. So we're going to do a sausage roll wreath. For that, get the biggest tray that comes with the oven, right, like that. We're going to take our piece of greaseproof paper. We're going to put that on here. We're going to get a regular kind of like bowl in the middle, like this, and we're going to build around it. Now, the great thing about... Come on, my big boy, how are you?
Good.
You want to help me with this sausage roll wreath?
Wreath?
Yeah, you know, the thing that Mum hangs, but it's normally flowers.
Yeah.
Not today, it's going to be sausage roll. So I'm going to cut this in the middle. Go and wash your hands, buddy, so you can help me, right? So then into quarters, and then into eighths. So these are our sort of more chunky sausage rolls. Then we'll do exactly the same here, but into sixteenths. We've basically got fat ones and thin ones. Now, the great thing about this is if you do it a little bit badly, it really doesn't matter, because the great thing about puff pastry is it just kind of cooks up and out, and then any little kind of imperfections kind of become beautiful. You cook yourself out of trouble. Take your coat off, big boy. Roll those sleeves up. Let's do this. Come on, you in your pyjamas?
Yeah.
We'll start off by the bigger ones going around, right, because it's a wreath. So space those around the bowl. It's eccentric, right? We're having a bit of fun. We need a bit of fun this year, more than ever. And we should be doing it with food as well. Get the kids involved. Once we have done that, right, we can take the bowl away, and then we can have a little go on the squash. And all I would do with this one, buddy, is run it sort of on the side like that. You got it, you're better than me now. Any leftover ones of these, you can freeze. So we'll just take a bit of that mustard egg wash, and we'll egg wash the side of each one of these. Buds, do you want to take over from this, my bro?
Yeah.
You're not going to let me kiss you for much longer, are you? Yeah. Get too old and too cool. Good job. Are you a bit chilly? Go on, get your jacket back on. Now what we can do, a little bit of sesame seeds, a little bit of poppy seeds.
Can I use some?
Of course you can. What we're going to do is take a little bit of rosemary, grab some rosemary and some bay. Here we go. Couple of bay leaves, 4 or 5, and we'll rub those with oil first, otherwise they'll go a bit dry and horrible. We're going to go in with a few bits of rosemary. You like that, Buds?
Yeah.
So look at that. That is the Oliver sausage roll wreath.
It even has an O in the middle.
Yeah, it even has an O in the middle. But what would you do with a wreath? You'd hang it. So I'm going to show you how to make a little bow to hang this wreath. So I split this into 2, and then we're going to go not quite to the end and cut it into 3. Take some cheese like that. So what we're going to do to plait, just go one over there, over there, over there, over there. You know how to plait, right? There, 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 there. Pinch it at the end, and you have your lovely plait. I'll get another little tray. So rough and ready, don't stress about it. We're just going to cross it over like that, right? That on a board, you can eat the whole lot. It's going to be amazing. With that little cheesy, puffy bow, we're going to put that in the oven. Buds, you go in at the bottom. That'll go in for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius until golden and delicious. And serve it with a laugh, a little twinkle in your eye. And I reckon Everyone's going to love that, right, buds?
Yeah.
So, and we have our golden bow and our epic sausage roll wreath. Look at that. Do a nice little bow. So there you go, lovely people. That is my completely bonkers Christmas sausage roll and squash wreath. I never thought I'd be making one of these, but you know what? Let yourself go, have fun, and honestly, it will put a smile on people's faces. Have a little try. I love that. It's Christmassy, it's bonkers, it's delicious. Few drinks, happy days. Yay! Mummy, do you like it?
Oh, that's amazing.
Who's ready for a nice little chilli?
Wow.
Yeah!
This is so lovely and warming.
This is amazing.
Very nice, really nice.
I absolutely love it.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, my darling.
Christmas.